to give you some concrete examples of Unido Italy's experience with leapfrogging in Africa, we would like to present some findings from our flagship initiatives in the innovation sector. So since 2015, we have organized 3 editions of our Call for Proposals International Award, Innovative Ideas and Technologies in Agribusiness. And its aim was to scout the best innovations and technologies in agri-tech and food tech that were also applicable in developing countries. And originally, what is interesting is that the rationale behind the devising of this initiative was to identify the main needs and challenges in developing countries in order to match them with viable business models in the global north. So in the first edition in 2015, over 50% of the applications received were from Europe and in particular from Italy. But the situation has evolved considerably over just 5 years. And in fact, in 2019, during the 3rd edition of the International Awards, 2/3 of the applications received were from developing countries, with over 50% of the total from African startups, universities, spin-offs, and research centers. The most relevant trend here is that we were able to scout interesting business models in Africa and match them with opportunities in the global north. So this means that the trend that was in place in 2015 was reversed in under 5 years. And the same rationale applies to another UNIDO initiative that was the Global Call, Innovative Ideas and Technologies for Developing Countries. And it was launched to respond to the challenges posed by COVID-19. And as its name suggests, it was a call for developing countries because it was aimed at addressing the crisis by taking into account the specific challenges experienced by developing countries during the pandemic. And the solution proposed came from all over the world, including emerging economies and developing countries. So it means that the initiative kind of targeted these countries both as beneficiaries and participants. And in fact, out of 1,100 applications received, over 50% were from Africa. So this means that between 2015 and 2020, with our 2 flagship initiatives, we were able to witness the leapfrogging ongoing in Africa and also the development and changes in the dynamic of between the innovation ecosystems in the global north and in the global south. And as for our work in particular, it means that it contributed to move away from the traditional top-down approach of international cooperations, thus shifting from the idea of development to co-development, harnessing the power of innovation.
So this is in particular what made us realize that to bring about lasting change within the industrial sector, it was necessary for us to start working very closely with startups and innovation ecosystems, as they were some of the actors behind the disruptive transformations taking place in the global south. And we started doing so in 2015 with the launch of the first edition of the International Award that Eleonora was explaining. And since then, our main interactions with innovation ecosystems have been of 3 types. So first of all, there's been the scouting, which we do through our initiatives such as the Global Call or the International Award. And we have a specific focus on agri and food tech. And we are moving towards the clean tech in more recent times. Then second, we mentor the startups that we find. And some of the scouted startups, both through our global calls, but also through our projects, receive from us support in boosting their business model, as well as accessing international markets. And we also have had a mentoring role in accelerators and associations, always in topics of agri and food tech. And finally, we promote these startups. And this is the activity that is the closest to our mandate as UNIDO. And through our honest brokering activities, we are able to match these interesting solutions with relevant market opportunities, investors, and partners that can be relevant for them and help them make that jump. We would also like to present today some of the examples of these innovative startups. coming from Africa, and that are part of Unido Italy's database and have been supported by us over the years. First of all, one example is Finana, which is a company coming from Mozambique that produces green banana flour. And this product has a threefold impact. So first of all, adds value to the banana value chain. And also it's able to prolong the shelf life of the product. As we can see that if a banana can last up to 6 days, in the form of flour can last up to 2 years. And finally, this is a locally sourced ingredient, which provides a lot of health benefits. And for this reason, is very relevant for the local market. But it's also an interesting product for international markets, as we can see that can help address also undernutrition and obesity at the same time, and it's a very health superfood. Another project that we have been supporting is Agroplexis. So moving away and to like the digital kind of product, this is a technology, a platform that works on a blockchain technology, and it seems to support farmers in solving the problems of access to finance. And it has different functions, including a P2P wallet with the ability to store, send, and receive funds globally, as well as a smart investment platform that allows farmers to fundraise at their own projects and like to support their own companies, a farm management systems to manage their resources, such as inputs, labor, and machinery, and even a capacity building component for which they can reach shared knowledge about modern farming techniques and new technologies and anything that can be useful for them in upscaling their company. Another startup, also moving to another topic, which is circular economy, is AgriProtein from South Africa. So this company developed a cutting-edge insect technology, and in this way they are able to upcycle organic waste and make it a feed for black soldier fly larvae. So by let's say growing these insects and then harvesting them, they are able to produce 3 final products, which are a complete protein for animal feed, a purified fat, and finally a rich residual soil fertilizer, which goes back, let's say, also to have purpose in agriculture.
Then we have a startup from Kenya that is AlphaZero that has developed an ozone-based post-harvest treatment plant which eliminates 98% of the aflatoxin contamination in grains, nuts, and other food commodities. And this is very relevant because aflatoxins are poisonous and can contaminate food crops. But the process devised by AlphaZero sterilizes the product and results in a longer shelf life and also prevents further contamination along the supply chain. And last but not least, we have a startup from Nigeria that is called FromCrowding that has developed a digital agriculture platform that connects farm sponsors with real farmers in order to increase food production. And it basically uses sponsor funds to secure the land, insure the farmers and the farm produce, and complete the full farming cycle. So the sponsors receive the returns only after the harvest. And while the farm process is going on, the sponsors are able to keep track of it by getting updates in text, pictures, and videos. And during the first year of operation, this is very relevant for the purpose of what has been said so far, the project has generated an increase in the farmers' income by at least 80%. So these are just a few examples of the startup in our network to show how leapfrogging and the adoption of new technologies are changing the landscape in Africa from a social and economic point of view. And it is also creating new target markets. And many countries of the continent are experiencing a revolution in terms of innovation with the setting up of tech hubs, industrial clusters, with the rise of tech entrepreneurs, and an overall vibrant environment in terms of innovation and creativity. So to conclude, I would just say that as our activities are focused on the creation of partnerships between the private sector in the global north and in the global south, The work of Unido Italy itself is constantly evolving to be up to speed with the technological transformation and the changing needs in Africa that are generating new and exciting opportunities of both production and consumption. Thank you very much.